All right, and Frank, I know from your T-shirt that you're from Coinmate.
Yeah, that is right.
What do you guys do at Coinmate?
So we are, European crypto. Oh, sorry, we are, European crypto exchange.
Excellent.
So we are operating all around the globe. We are usually based in the UK. We have a seat in the UK, so we are UK company. So that's it. We are a crypto exchange.
And you guys take Bitcoin?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I like Bitcoin. And what kind of other currencies can people exchange Bitcoin for at your exchange?
Yeah, nowadays it's a Litecoin,
Sure.
and we are planning to get some more, currency pairs like, Ethereum, Monero.
Sure. Everyone likes the altcoins. It's a big speculative market. It's very exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Why not? What about Zcash?
Yeah. I've heard that's a popular one too. I think Ryan was there. And I know Peter Todd destroyed his laptop. Had lots of fun with that project.
Yeah.
Peter Todd loves to destroy lots of things, not just laptops. But whenever he gets a chance to smash some hardware, I think he's there for you.
Yeah.
And so you're the legal, or you're working on the legal side for Coinmate, right? And so what is your general view on the regulators in this cryptocurrency space?
Guys, I heard you have a great interview, with guys from General Bytes, and
sure.
you talk about,
it was great to talk to
you talk about, AML directive,
KYC,
and QIC and things like that. There are many regulations. I mean, more and more regulations come at us from many directions because regulators are a little bit afraid of the things they don't understand.
Well, it might be a libertarian fairy tale, but I've heard something that in the EU they have 20,000 pages dedicated to the selling, preservation, and quality of pickles. So I know it can get a bit out of control. People say the Constitution's about 10 pages long. Seemed like it worked pretty good, at least until yesterday. But what happens with you and the regulators? How's it going?
Yeah, you need to be honest, because we are in very exciting time of our industry. I mean, in the crypto industry,
all happening.
Everyone has has new disruptive ideas, right?
Yeah.
And the regulators, they need to solve many issues, so very fast and proper. So that the sources are not unlimited,
time is limited. Yes.
And there is, there are not enough, legal and IT experts. So in this field, and these people are in the private sector rather than in the public. So so regulators are kept in their in their trap,
Right. They see things from their own framework. They can't see too much else.
But speaking about the AML and KIC, we have now in place AML number 5, right?
Right. It must be the good one. I like Rocky 4.
There was number 4 2 years ago.
Sure.
I'm quite sure that that
6 is on its way.
It's on the way. Definitely. But I would like to mention that it's quite new that there is risk factor guideline from the Europe.
Sure.
Yeah, under which crypto exchanges are forced to assess all risk and factors related to the customer's own transactions. So it's very tough for people. I mean, for supporting people in the exchanges, and for the customers, because people are really upset when the onboarding process took hours or days or sometimes months. But guys, that's not our invention. Sorry about that, but
you have to deal with the system you're given.
We need to follow the rules.
Certainly, Martin from General Bytes was talking yesterday about how they have many AML and KYC features on the ATMs, but they start with them off, and they suggest to their customers, turn on the ones you're required to turn on, don't turn on the others if you're not required to yet, and of course to follow the law and to do the best that you can. But also we heard about things from Jorg yesterday that Coinbase is actually looking at your transactions after you've sent them, and that you send your Bitcoin to another wallet, then maybe you send your Bitcoin to a gambling website. God forbid you want to bet on football. Seems legal in some places, not legal in others. But this idea of being free with your money. If you go to an ATM and you get a 50-euro note and you go to the park and you buy whatever you want, the banker's not responsible for it at all. But there seems to be another standard in crypto because they can get the information. Do you guys do anything like that? Do you follow the transactions of your customers?
Yeah. So we have minimal requirements according to AML KYC, because it's very frustrating for the customers and for the community. So we have rational approach, minimalistic approach, let's say, about it. But I am quite sure that you heard about the anti-money laundering scandal in Scandinavia, where in Nordea Bank there is several hundred millions of euros laundered, in this bank. So
it's almost like they're a laundromat, like they're set up
it's
to
a
do this,
sometimes the banks are a little bit, laundering machines,
Sure. On the famous story from, I think, Latin America, where they sized the night drop slots to fit the briefcases with the money, and then the gangsters or whoever they were slid the briefcases right into the drop slots.
And that's what a banking license is, right? It's a license to launder money above the law, right?
Okay.
in some aspect. So you talked a lot about the cost for the individual user of Know Your Customer and anti-money laundering, and that it's really inconvenient for them. But what are the costs for you as an exchange? What additional efforts do you have to put in, and what other services can you not work on because of these additional costs?
The costs are pretty high, because we, with every, new directive, we need to, implement requirements into our system. So it's a very stress. It's a big stress for our IT crowd, IT guys.
If you don't do it right, you only go to jail, right?
Yeah.
So big whoopsie. Sorry about that.
So we aim our sources to prepare some legal solutions instead of to create some great services and to be closer to the community and to our customers. So what a shame, but as I said, regulators are afraid of they don't
things they don't understand. The future. And on the customer side, you have all the basic security. You have two-factor authentication, things like this, keep the funds safe.
Yeah, exactly. As you mentioned, we have all of that. Two-factor verification. There is only limited funds in our hot wallet and things like that. I mean, that's a common approach in the whole industry. I suppose. So I would like to mention that, in the Czech Republic, here right now, that a few weeks ago, there's been, established, a crypto working party under Czech FinTech Association, and they are going to.
I like parties.
Yeah, you like parties, as I do, and they are going to publish some let's say code of conduct or crypto codex, because I think personally that self-regulation is much better than hard regulation from the regulators, because the participants on the market are closely to solve issues we have, so that's it.
And you bring up the point of self-regulation, which I do agree is really the way to go. It is best practices, it is standards, right? So how do we make sure that the companies in the space adhere to these best practices without using the political violence and political force?
It's maybe it's not a question of law. It's a question of ethics and a question for community.
That's right.
It's something like a social consensus that we accept that we need to follow these principles and these rules, because they are sufficient and efficient. Because we have such contract, let's say social contract between the market participants and with our customers. So this is probably the solution, that we do not need the regulatory some interventions or something like that.
And how are you enjoying the Prague conference? And are you guys a sponsor of the conference? I think you are.
Unfortunately, I was quite sick, on Friday and Saturday. But I follow your YouTube channel.
Hey, you can keep up right there, live on YouTube, right?
Yeah, definitely. But I'm enjoying very much, because it's a very lively congress, and people are talking, about great topics like civil rights, freedom, and peer-to-peer networks. And it seems they're having a very good time here in studio and in the sessions. So me and my friend from Coinmate, we are very happy to be part of it, and it's a pleasure to be in the most famous crypto anarchy institute. In Prague, in the center of our republic, in the melting point of Czech culture. I don't know if you know that, but we are going to celebrate 100 years of our republic, and our founders built a century ago their own parallel polis.
That's right.
A century ago.
Yes.
As a space for free men and for democracy, independent from Austrian Hungarian Empire.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to meet the guys, and I see many crypto bohemians here, so I'm very proud of it. So it's great congress,
Well, and this place that we're in, Parallelnipolis, is the parallel city, and it's kind of like a shadow government or a world that we wish things were like. And we just talked to the guy who does the Purism laptop, and they're all about open source and open source hardware and publishing the schematics. And again, this is an idealist view of computer hardware. This is how we wish and hope things could be. And I think in this way, Parallelnipolis, and especially going back to the Czech founding and the problems with Czech and other countries and who's running who and this kind of thing, if we set out for an ideal, and we're like, Martin Luther King or Gandhi, and we say, things can be better, the British can leave India, we can have email that's not read by Google all the time. Sometimes we can actually achieve that goal. It might take 100 years, it might take 10 minutes, but we can do these things when we state a positive goal and when we work together for them. So it's a very exciting place to be.
Yeah. And the Czechs, we are very focusing, out on the ITs, and we are very good at it. So it's a great place, and again, it's an honor to be here, guys. Absolutely. In your studio.
Yeah. Well, we're glad that you have you, and it's been a nice conversation already. So where do you think is the future going? Do you think we are on a path towards liberty.com, or do you think that it is more going to be a path towards more regulation, more nanny state, more government intervention?
Fortunately, I need to be quite pessimistic, because my background, I used to work in public and private sector, so generally speaking, I moved from the dark side to the light.
That's right. We still got a man from Deutsche Bank here on the couch, but we try not to mention it.
and the regulatory approach is to have more and more regulations.
That is.
Unfortunately, to bound our freedom and our democracy, because they don't like, any, islands of free or freedom. So, unfortunately, I think that's going to be, more regulation and legislation in place. So that's my opinion. I hope I'm wrong. But
well, that's what they say. When all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So very rough that way.
Yeah.
But where can people check out Coinmate, and what can they do? Just once again, the exchange. It's at coinmate.com. Or
It's you can find us on the Coinmate.io.
Right.
Yeah. And we provide our services 24/7. And you are free to go under our onboarding process. Unfortunately, we have some anti-money laundering and customer.
You have to follow the laws. We all want to pay our taxes. We want to follow the laws. We want to do the right thing.
But we are trying to to have minimum sets of rules, not to interrupt our customers, not bother them, not annoying them, and things like that. So I think it's quite good service. We are very famous in the Czech Republic. It's quite known crypto exchange, and we are trying to going abroad, to.
So right now you mainly serve the Czech Republic. Are there any other countries where people can access your service?
Wow, you can have access from all around the world except the United States. Because it's because of FATCA. And the SEC, it's quite complicated,
certainly.
To communicate with their IRS and authorities like that. So you can access from every place all around the globe, except United States.
Every place except where I'm from. I won't take it personally then.
Well,
sorry about that.
Well, it's the place, the land of the free and the home of the brave, right? But sorry, no services for you. But that is exactly what government regulation does, right? It increases the cost for good businesses like you drastically. And if you increase the cost, well, then you have to shut down your business. Right, and that is just a shame that through this regulation, as Andreas Antonopoulos likes to say, you cannot get Bitcoin out of your country, but you can get your country out of Bitcoin. And that is clearly what is happening right now with regulations like FATCA or all the other nonsensical stuff. So Frank, thank you very much for joining us here on the World Crypto Network. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
It's been a pleasure.
And absolutely, thank you very much for supporting and for sponsoring here the Hackers Congress at Parallel Nepolis. It's great work that you're doing, and thank you for reaching out here and making sure that this great organization continues to flourish.
We are glad to make this happen. We are very proud to sponsor such an event, and I hope we will meet next year and take some chat, and speak about maybe less regulation.
We can always hope. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.